Hello, I'm Chris. This is Gross Models. A very warm welcome to issue 66 of Back to the Future Delorean Build Time. This is a fairly complicated issue by the looks of it. There's not many parts, but there's stuff. We've got two cables and lots of connections and catches and things to install. Yeah, fittings for the doors. So we're preparing for next time when we get the first door, or at least some of it. We've got to put springs onto catches and they go onto the top piece and brackets hold it in place. It's a lot of fiddly, time-consuming little stuff. So we'll do that in a bit. And getting cables wired up, good to go as well. So yeah, it won't take long, but it's a bit more involved than the previous few have been. Looking at Back to the Future Part 3. Time for shooting to start. Cool. They built a town, I think, basically. Yeah, they built the high street, but in 1989. What time was it we went back to? I don't know. 1985. Railway tracks. In 1985, the train, so it's 1885, isn't it? That's when they went back to. Cool. Yeah. Then they made a letter from Doc in 1885. Nice. Yes. So the door is how we start. That's interesting. It comes in two bits. I would have thought that top bit's what holds it together. So I would have thought that would have been integral to all of it. But interesting. But next time, I haven't received this pack yet, although it is on its way. So hopefully that will follow very shortly after you watch this. So yeah, that is that. Let's try some wires. Okay, here we have the parts from this time. We've got an orange and a white. The other way around. Orange and white. 1 and 3. I don't know what happens to 2. We'll figure that out as we go. These are little simple switches. They're sort of engaged when it's pushed and open straight up again. This is going to be the bit that tells it when the door is shut and open. So we've got those. We've got some little plastic brackety things. Lots of cable holders. Lots of AM screws. These are the first things that we're going to be dealing with, along with some springs from in this packet. I'm going to open all the packet, get it all out. Anyway, we're going to be using them all to obviously get the cables into the right places. What have we got? We've got a couple of little bits in there, a couple of little cable things, another little bit, little plug, little cable thing, springs. It should be 4 springs. Well, it looks like there's 2 sort of linked together there. And hopefully these 2 are also linked together. They are indeed. So that's those. So that is going onto post there. That's not a tight fit, but it's not going to fall off on its own from gentle moving around. So that's a good thing. So that is that. Good. Right, let me move things out of the way a little bit more because I need to bring in the car itself. Now, I've been playing a little bit. I'll show you. I've dug it up from the first couple of issues, the parts that we already had, because obviously now we've done that, it's nice to see how it's all going together. So this is basically just going to fit on there like that, and the good obviously will shut down a little bit more than it does at the moment by the looks of it. I have to shut down probably a little bit more. I'm not just going to force it now though, but that's how that is going. And on the back end will just fit over there a bit like that. So it's starting to sort of come together and look a little bit like the finished article. Not finished by a long shot, but you can see how it's coming together, which is always nice. So let me turn this over. Yeah, that's definitely got a bit of extra closing to do on that. I wonder why that isn't. There we go. It just wasn't quite. There's a little catch there. That's okay. Good. So on here, this is what we're dealing with at the moment. The interior inside section here. We have these spring pieces to put in somehow. How is that going to go? Let me have a closer look and see what that tells me. Right, okay. I understand that now. I've looked at the pictures. So we've got a couple of the AM screws we're going to be using. Get one of them ready. Like that. Right. So we're going to be putting one of these brackets on and one of these springs in. That goes in there. Basically like that. But I can't let go because of the spring. Spring just goes against that centerpiece. Like that. Actually, I can let go. There we go. That goes on there like that. And then that is held over the top of it with 2 screws. So that can't escape. Now, I don't see exactly what they're going to do. Can't move a great deal. So, yeah. Let's get this running and then we'll have a little play with it and see if we can see what's going to happen. So with that screwed in place, the other side tightened down now as well. It moves a bit. I don't know if you can see that because I'll get my finger in the way. There is some movement there. It goes all the way through there, so it's going to be something happening on the other side of that. So that is that. I need to get all of the others put in, but I won't bore you with doing that on camera. I'll get that done in a moment and then come along and see what's next. Right, next up we are doing some wires. We've got a little plug. I'm going to use a pair of tweezers to do this because otherwise it might well try and escape. It's going into this bit here. It does have a square end and a round pin. So should, in theory, drop in place. I don't know that it's going to. There is actually a little bit of flash from the top of that. So I'm going to try and grab that and then drop it. But it only went down there. That's okay. Right, this is going to be a trickier step than I thought it might be. Try again. No, I'm going to have to do this off camera. But that is going to be held in place by the switch, which we need to feed through there. And that goes into this bracket like that. So the switch will be activated by that little pin, and that's going to hold in place on there, which will hold everything in the right place like that with the pin just briefly sticking out there a little bit. A screw, an AM screw, will hold that in place. So I shall try and get that manipulated in place. Then we're going to do basically the same. We did that one before, didn't we? That was a little door catch. I remember that front one. I thought we were doing that with this, but no, we're doing the same somewhere else. I'll figure out exactly what we're doing next once I've got this bit installed. Okay, there we go. That's done. And the other one was exactly the same on the other side. So we've got a little switch that will tell us when the door is shut. There's a little pin over there that's just sprung that's just going to latch in the other side. And the same over there. Now, the last thing to do is to tidy up these wires that at the moment are just all over the place. So these are being routed in a specific direction with 2 brackets holding each one in place. So these are basically just coming from here, along here, and there are 2 brackets holding it in place, one there and one there. And that will do. That will do. One, same as all these brackets are, one little pin, one screw hole. Put it in the right way around. The screw holes are closer to the front. So that will go in there, for instance. bit like that, except not like that at all. Jesus, that would be the answer. Goes on there a bit like that with the wire underneath it, and the other one does the same over here. I'll get all 4 of those done, and then we'll see how the wiring looks when it's complete. And there we have it. The wire's nicely routed out of the way. They'll obviously go somewhere from there. I thought they would have stayed down, but they're obviously went up. They'll probably just go into the boot area. That's where the circuit's going to be, I should think, underneath the engine. That is that. It's done. I don't know exactly how those hinge pieces are going to work. There's obviously something going to catch against those and enable that to spring just a little bit. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Next time, we shall be getting a door, or at least most of a door. We'll be starting on that. Surely in the next delivery, we'll be able to complete a door. I'm looking forward to that. The gold wing doors are quite iconic for this car. So that's that. Thank you very much for joining me. Stick around for the next one, and I'll see you for something else before then. Bye-bye for now.